Ladies and gentlemen, friends and rivals, my name is Jared, and with me is my sharpshooting friend, Ian.
That's me.
We will be your hosts for the episode. We are honored and grateful that you have joined us at our table. Here at the Game Table Podcast, we take a look at various board, card, and other tabletop games. We give an overview, provide a little insight on how to play, and share some of our thoughts, all in an attempt to give you an idea of how well it would fit for you and your table. Today, we are at the feature table, where we are taking a look at Sniper Elite, the board game. Designed by Roger Tankersley and David Thompson. Artwork created by Jose David Lanza Cebrian, Edward Gould, and Ed Savage. And published by Rebellion Unplugged.
Sniper Elite, the board game, is a one versus many hidden movement game where a sniper is taking on a mass of soldiers. Sir, yes, sir. His objective? Kill and destroy. The sniper will be sneaking around the map trying to complete his hidden objective. Meanwhile, the defending soldiers are trying to defend against his attacks. Once the sniper completes his objective or the sniper is eliminated, the game ends. On we go. Sir, yes, sir. Sniper Elite, the board game.
Hoorah.
Hoorah! Well, Jared.
Ian,
Yeah.
how we doing?
We're on this kick of video games this month.
This is technically wrapping it up,
Yeah.
but next week has a video game feel to it, even though it's
Okay.
not video game focused.
There you go.
So we're in a mode before the weather gets nice
We're
outside.
in a mode. That's funny.
Ha-ha!
I see what you did there.
Off the cuff.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite stealth?
Well, hold on. Before we get into the actual question,
Okay.
have you played this game, like video game form?
I think I played like the original like once or twice, but I didn't like. I play shooters as today. I just
Just today, in fact.
Yeah,
I was played a shooter.
didn't play today, but I don't play this one. There is so many versions of this game, and they are still making them.
Yep.
And we'll touch on that after here in a minute.
I have never played this game.
Okay.
Truthfully, I didn't even know it was a video game adaptation
There you go.
until we had another couple over, and the guy was looking at our shelves, and he was like, "Oh, you have Sniper Elite, the board game?"
Yeah.
I played the video game all the time growing up, and I was like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah,
This is a board game."
Oh my gosh, that's disrespectful.
I apologize to all the Sniper Elite lovers
Yeah.
out there. But like you said, we have played a lot of shooters.
Yes.
We have played video games.
Yeah, we have.
Once or twice.
We have. Do you have a favorite of the style of maybe not fully like it's not obviously like Sniper Elite sneaking around
Sure.
sniping, but any other like maybe more tactical style, just being very intentional on movement and stuff?
I really enjoyed Metal Gear Solid growing up. That game was fantastic when it came to all things sneaking and stealthing and having a cool story with it.
Yeah.
I know that games like, Call of Duty
Mm-hmm.
had like some of that in their quote unquote campaign.
In the campaigns, yeah.
But the campaigns are always like half baked for the most part.
Yeah, it's the
and
online
it's more
play.
of the multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But when you have a game that truly commits to it, like Metal Gear Solid or apparently Sniper Elite, like I
Mhm.
think it's really fantastic.
Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the Hitman series. I don't know if you ever played that.
I played a little bit.
And then one other the ones that I'm going to throw in, and I don't know a ton about it. We don't own a virtual reality system, but when my friends bring one over for us to play, there's one game and one game only that I want to play, and it is Super Hot. I don't know if have you played Super Hot?
No,
Ian, it is so addicting.
that's funny.
So Super Hot is where you're actually like working your way through this scenario, and there's all these bad guys that are trying to kill you.
Okay.
But time stops as you don't move. So it only like progresses forward with gunshots and knives being thrown at you and stuff like that when you move. So you have to be very tactical about how you move, when you move, where you move.
That's awesome.
It's super addicting.
Yeah, that's cool.
So those are mine as far as those kinds of games. And Super Hot is obviously very different, but I throw it in because I am addicted.
That's such a neat idea. Wow.
Not to distract us, Ian. Don't distract.
No, that's cool.
Stay focused.
I'm gonna look 1 second.
He's distracted, folks.
Well, as far for myself, there's a couple games growing up that I did enjoy. This one wasn't as tactical, but I will say what was cool about this game was the campaign. This is back when multiplayer was not, it was all on your own TV, which was great. But this game in particular, again, not the most tactical, but the campaign did have a lot of ttactical aspects of sneaking around.
Sure.
And I'll explain one scenario here, but it was Medal of Honor, Rising Sun.
Yeah, no, I understand. I see where you're going.
And so, man, I can't believe, I don't even know, they don't make Medal of Honors anymore, not that I'm aware of. They haven't made one in a long time. Medal of Honor was the stuff, in my opinion, before Call of Duty really got big. And that was like the shooter that you would play with it. Like we would play 4 player.
Yeah.
Multiplayer. A lot on that, but I do remember in the campaign you'd be sneaking around. It's it's World War II, that specific one. It's right after Pearl Harbor, and so you're like sneaking around in like Japan or something, and it's like so neat, a super cool thing. So that one is definitely one that I played a lot of, and then more recently was it's called Hell Let Loose, which is a very super realistic like World War II. World War II sim game that it is the most of tactical. You don't just, it's not Call of Duty running around. You have to be very intentional. It's like when you play, you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm in the woods fighting in World War II. And so you have to be very intentional about your movements. And when you shoot and like, you got to have backup, you communicate with your teammates. So super tactical. So that's like the new one that I'm playing. Speaking of Sniper Elite, came out in 2005 on the PS2, Xbox and Windows, and then it came out in 2010 on the Wii, which I really I want to know because I had a Wii.
This is not a Wii game.
I know, but what if you could you aimed it?
No, I understand.
That'd be awesome.
But I'm saying like content-wise, I can't
it's
picture this as a Wii game.
Not. And then it just started, they started flowing after 2010, 2013, V2, Sniper Elite 3, Sniper Elite 4, Sniper Elite 5, and then some spin-offs, which I think Sniper Elite 5 is the one currently available that has been remastered or is still going. Sniper Elite 5 came out in 2022, so that's on all of your major consoles right now. And then there's also Sniper Elite Resistance coming out in 2025, so there's a new version of them. And then there's also Zombie Army.
I mean, you can't have a good Army game without a Zombie version.
Army Trilogy, which is technically an expansion pack for Sniper Elite 2.
It all's tied together.
So if you know nothing about Sniper Elite,
like us,
there's a videos that you can watch, I'm sure. But basically, one player, or in the video games, there's a sniper. You're the sniper. You're running around or sneaking around. You're not running. You don't want to run because that would not be very sniper-like.
Sometimes you have to.
Well,
it's very selective.
It's not very sneaky. But
it is tactical sometimes.
It is tactical. And you are completing missions and using your sharpshooter abilities to take out high-value targets during World War II, which was the first one. But in this game, as we're flipping into this game here.
This board game.
Okay. Yes, the board game. As the sniper, you have an objective that you are trying to complete, and you will be sneaking around trying to complete that objective usually, and from my understanding, you're going around to special points of the map, and you will also be sniping the army that is defending this kind of restricted area.
Sure.
And so that's the goal, is to complete that objective. And same thing in the games. Obviously, there's a lot more of a story there of you're really, special targets and stuff like that. But such a neat idea, a little bit different than most like shooters, especially in board games or any type of fighting. It has a little bit more of a twist on it. There are plenty of other hidden movement games as well.
There are a lot of them.
But I like the theme. I actually do think it fits really well because you have a sniper sneaking around the map. So, Jared, go ahead and tell us more how how this all flows, as I gave a general overview already. But
Oh, yeah, you did such a great job. I put it down for a minute. I thought you were just going to do it.
no, I'm sorry. Did you want me to?
No, it's okay. I mean, whatever you want to do, man.
No. I was. No, go for it.
You're like 50% of this episode. You have a say.
Go ahead and finish out what I missed. How about that?
Okay, folks. Well, as Ian said, Sniper Elite the board game is a hidden movement strategy game. One player plays as the sniper, and up to 3 other players play the defenders. No matter how many defenders you have, you will operate 9 German soldiers that are broken up into 3 separate factions. The sniper must complete 2 secret objectives, while the defenders try to locate and eliminate the sniper. So if you're the sniper and you get eliminated, much like in life, you lose.
You're eliminated.
You're done. But if you blow up or whatever it is you're doing at those secret objectives, once you've completed the 2 of them, then you are golden. So once you've chosen your roles and you've selected which side of the board that you want to be on, which is double-sided, players will set up their units if they're the defender. The sniper does not place a figure on the board because, remember, it's a hidden movement game. So they have their own hidden map where they keep up with their movement.
Hidden movement.
That's right. The sniper has selected 2 objectives, so there's 4 different sections of the map. I believe, I don't know if they're quadrants, I can't remember off the top of my head, but essentially the board's broken up into 4 different areas. There are different objective opportunities throughout those sections, and so you'll kind of select one of them based on the cards that are dealt to you. There will also be power-up cards that are chosen on both sides, and then you begin the game. On a given round, there is 2 phases. First, the sniper takes their turn, and then the defenders take their turn. The sniper on their hidden board secretly moves 0, 1, 2, or 3 spaces. They're using a dry erase marker to do this so they can keep up with their movement, but not alert the rest of the players without being caught. Moving 1 space or 0 spaces is silent, but if you move 2 or 3 spaces, that makes noise. And that crosses the defender's ability to detect where the sniper is at. If moving into or through the enemy soldier spaces, the sniper must reveal their location. They do this by providing a little minifigure that is, it's not Legos, by providing a little miniature onto the map to show the sniper's last known location. The sniper can also choose to attack enemies, but risks revealing themselves if things go wrong. Then we shift to the defender's turn. So each defender has a squad of 3 soldiers, like we talked about, because there's 9 soldiers total. And on their turn, they can activate these different squads, and each squad has 2 actions. They can either choose to move soldiers, they can search, which checks the space to see if the sniper is there. They can attack if they suspect that the sniper is nearby, or they can listen for noise. If the sniper made noise in their turn, the defenders get a clue about where they are. If the defenders are able to attack the sniper, then the sniper loses 1 health. If the sniper's health ever reaches 0, which is 2 health total, then again, the sniper loses the game. If, however, the sniper is able to get to their objectives, complete them, and then escape, they win the game. There are some nitty-gritty pieces that we're not going to get into, but that kind of gives you a general overview. So we will now discuss.
So, yes, sir.
And I want to start by talking about this concept of hidden movement.
Yeah.
Because I think it's the crux of how I feel about this game as a whole. Because we have dabbled and discussed many times about how you review a game. And a large part of it has to do with how you personally, the proverbial you, feels about the game and what it does for you, entertainment-wise, etc. But sometimes it's okay to acknowledge that a game is really good and you not like it.
Right.
I think that's the case here. I think I think that I really love the concept of a hidden movement game,
Yeah.
but I never feel like it pays off in the end. Like, I feel like we get set up and I'm like, oh, this is cool. We're going to try and find the dude, or I'm the dude that they're going to try and find, and I'm going to sneakily get through it. And we get 2 hours into it, and I'm just like, oh, this was cool an hour ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know how you feel about hidden movement games, but the more I have thought about this game and other hidden movement games that I've played, I really like them in theory. Like, there's so many things about the concept of it that's really cool, but I don't know. I just always feel like the payoff isn't there. So I want to start there, and I want to get your thoughts on that, because after I kind of give this thing up front, I'm going to then try my best to just review the game as it is and kind of put some of my personal opinions to the side a little bit.
So when you say one hidden movement, I think, are you saying the traditional version, which is one versus many, and the one person is moving hidden?
It is a one person versus many. That person is not on the board for 90+% of the game.
And they're the ones controlling the movement.
And they're controlling their own movement. They're trying to figure out, how do I get to this point A and then this point B and then exit out of point C?
Yeah.
Within a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And everybody else is trying to find and kill me.
Right. The reason I ask is I've played, it's kind of like hidden movement. You're searching, the players are searching for, it's an app based. You're searching for this thief that's moving around and it's being moved.
Sure.
But it's not an actual person.
No, I think that's different. I really do. And I think part of it is because that's just a glorified co-op, right? I mean, it's still hidden movement.
Yeah, it's individual because it's the first person to catch them. But yeah. But in a way, yeah.
So it's a glorified semi-co-op.
Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about the traditional one versus many concept.
Which is, from my understanding, one of the biggest ones is Scotland Yard, which is really like, I don't know if there was one before that, but Scotland Yard is definitely like the one that everybody knew. And then, so the thing about one versus many games in general is that it's one person versus many, which is a challenge because that one person has to almost control the difficulty.
Yeah.
And in a hidden movement game, it's really hard as that player to control the difficulty and then not just lose. And so you kind of have to give it your all in these games because it is hard as that one, and they make it difficult. And like you're saying, the issue that I have as a whole in these games is that they are longer, and if you're not the hidden person, it is just hours of frustration, turn after turn, as the many. And I'm saying that as a generalized statement. If you like games like this, I'm not trying to knock that. I'm saying it is maybe not frustrating. As a non-biased player, I would say if I'm playing the many, the searchers in this scenario, it is turn after turn of failure in most scenarios.
That is correct.
It's failing continually and not really seeing any progression. It's search. No, you're not there. My turn's over. They move. I search. They're not there. If you enjoy these games, that's totally fine. But as a whole, that is a round after round of failure, and can be it can be taken to frustration in a lot of games. And I've played in groups where it turns into frustration. That's where I'm gonna put it for now.
Okay.
Unless you wanted to dive into more of that, because I do agree with what you're saying.
I think that is the real, like, we don't need to make a general statement of just frustration.
This game's bad.
But I do agree that if you are not okay feeling like I've failed, and then you like have a turn where you're like, this has to be it.
Yeah.
There's no other, and then you've like forgotten three things.
Yeah.
Or they've manipulated the game somehow, or even, God forbid, they made a mistake.
Uh-huh.
And
that's always a problem too.
It's always a possibility.
Yeah.
And so it's like, if you're okay with having repeated stabs at it, knowing you get one shot at a payoff, and you might not ever get that. Like, if you're cool with that, you might love hidden movement.
Yeah.
If you love hide and seek and are okay with the outcome no matter what, and all you're focused on is that outcome, you might love hidden movement. There's lots of them out there.
Yeah, there is.
Fury of Dracula. Easy for you to say. Fury of Dracula. Letters from Whitechapel. Like, there's so many out there that
the original Scotland Yard
all do their own thing, and it's even incorporated in a lot of games. So it's all over the place. This is one of those things. I feel like there's a lot of board game mechanics that I can be like, I'm fine with that, no matter how it plays.
Yeah.
And hidden movement is not that. It very much feels like this never pays off like I want it to. It's different than, because we've talked about one other mechanic is the roll and write.
Mm.
I'm just bored by that.
Yeah.
I really want to like hidden movement. I really do, because the concept is so cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm rambling now. Let's get into Sniper Elite.
Yeah. Of what we like.
What do you like about Sniper Elite? I can go first if you're not ready.
Go ahead.
So, having played a few different hidden movement games before, I think the thing that drew me in initially was that the unique choices for the defenders. I feel like with so many hidden movement games, the defenders spend so much of their time just moving around the board and playing this guessing game.
Mm.
Whereas in this one, there's different actions that you can choose, either trying to search for the sniper or trying to take on your own tactical game of saying, okay, you've only got so many turns to get to me, to the objective.
Yeah.
I'm going to figure out which objective you're going for, and I'm just going to bunker down, and we'll see if you try it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there are ways to kind of learn information in that way.
Absolutely.
And to where you can kind of decide, okay, he has to be going here, or she's going over there, or whatever.
Mm.
And you make that guess. But it's at least a tactical decision.
Right.
And so I really like the fact that there's 9 pieces that I'm moving around the board instead of everybody just like controlling one piece. That to me feels more like what a lot of these hidden movement games are trying to achieve, in that it's one person sneaking in behind enemy lines to try and complete this suicide mission without actually dying.
Yeah. I mean, yes, I would agree with that. I think Sniper Elite, the board game, offers some things in this genre that others aren't necessarily adding. I would also say that it is adding similar aspects, but I do really like how the soldiers, they have like the captain, they have kind of their own abilities, and a lot of times you can use it more than once. And so that's kind of unique in their own way. Like a lot of the other versions, you have abilities that you're collecting. Like if you go back to Scotland Yard, you collect these different things that you can use, and even like the person can use the hidden person can use a lot of these abilities to move around as well because they need it. But it's nice to have on the soldier side these abilities that are very unique and can be very deadly to that person if you do it at the right time. It's all timing. And the thing about hidden movement games, it is all timing. Timing is everything in these scenarios. And if you don't time up your movements right, if you don't time up specific areas right, then you're screwed. And this board, in my opinion, there's a lot of spaces, but in my opinion, it feels tighter.
I would agree.
Than the other games I've played. And the one I've played Scotland Yard, and I've played Letters from Whitechapel. I've not played, was it like Spectre Ops or something like that?
Yep, that's one.
So I haven't played those, but those are the two that I'm going to compare to. And those ones are actually honestly kind of similar, but and it just feels tighter as a whole, as the whole board. And the thing about it is that as the sniper, you're given options as far as your abilities in this game, where and a lot of other in these other versions, like basically you get one of 3 specific abilities. That's it. Mm-hmm. What I like about this is that they're given a whole hand of cards and they get to pick some special abilities that they, depending on how they want to play their game. Some of them they get to move a little bit faster. Some of them you get to make diversions. Some of them you get to do this and this. Like there's a whole kit that you can get more as the game goes on, which I think is fascinating. You don't always have time to do that, but
that's true.
You never have time. Let me be clear. You have never have time to do that.
That's very true.
But you can do it, and it could be helpful. But I like that there is a little bit of variety there. You're getting this variety from that. And then isn't it the same with the soldiers too, right? You have the different...
The soldiers get a little bit. That goes back to the ability, and you're kind of choosing some things to go along with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's, especially in more modern hidden movement games, that's becoming more standard. I remember that in Spectre Ops as well, and some others. So that is becoming more common. But I do feel like... I don't know. I'm thinking about... I know we keep coming back to Spectre Ops, but thinking about that one specifically, there were like a few items that these were the items.
Okay.
The rest of them were kind of like whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I feel like there's a lot of different takes depending on how you want to go.
And what I really like in this version is that there's the sniperman aspect of it, is that you have rooms, you have these buildings, and there's line of sight. That's not consistent in the other versions that I've played, where you're actually searching. You might, try and hunt them down, but if anybody's shooting, that is not happening in the other versions I played. And so to have this line of sight aspect of it too, you are shooting back and forth at each other. I think that's a neat aspect. In a way, I wish it were even I wish I could even use it more. That's how much it's cool, because you get that 3-dimensional aspect of the game that's only on the flat board.
Sure.
And so I like that aspect of that, of being able to think through, okay, well, and if I want to, if can he hit me? Can they not? If I'm the sniper, they can hear me, because you can hear stuff through walls. Am I correct on that? You can hear stuff through the walls, but
I think so, yeah.
So if I run outside, you can hear me running, but you don't know if it's inside or outside.
Sure.
Now I know in real life you'd be like, clearly he's outside, but in the game
mechanics,
game mechanics, you hear a sound. That's how it works. And so he could be outside, could be inside. But I know that if you're inside the building, I know you're not going to be able to shoot me from there unless you move all the way out. And so you can't use, you can use the same person twice, but it's really hard in those scenarios to really trigger that. And so I think it's just cool. That aspect of, I think, the shooting mechanics, which I guess you briefly discussed.
We didn't really talk about it, so you can go into it here. So
for the sniper, and it's a little different for the soldiers, but when the sniper shoots, he pulls stuff out of a bag, and he shakes the bag up, and there's basically hits, misses, noise. He has to have enough targets or aims. They're aims, I think is technically. Right. You have to pull enough for how far you're shooting. And so the trick is that if the enemies hit him, it clogs his bag up and makes it harder for him to be accurate in his gun jams and stuff like that. And so I think that's such a neat aspect, because the sniper is given a lot of resources to be good in this game.
Mm-hmm.
But also the reverse of that, I think the soldiers are also given a lot, because they don't necessarily have to use that feature of doing that. One of the commanders, I remember, can do that, where they can shoot from far away. And you have to keep an eye on that. I'm like, if they know exactly where I'm at as a sniper, that guy could shoot from across the map if he really wanted to, if he wanted to try.
Yep.
So you have to keep an eye on that, where normally they're just attacking the same space they're in. And so I just think all of that combined, and I know that's such very generic. I think that's the way I look at this, is there's these generic pieces of this game that I do like, and that add to that experience.
I think, okay, so I know we usually save what we don't like for later, but I think I'm going to jump in here because you brought it up.
Do it.
I don't think I like the bag pulling for the sniper.
Huh.
So I've never played this game in video game form, but usually in these games, you're this super talented, can take on all these enemies kind of person.
Right.
That bag makes me feel like I don't want to ever shoot the gun, ever.
For the sniper elite.
If I'm this elite sniper, I should want to feel like I can shoot the thing.
Yeah.
Because I know that my skill is going to be able to handle it. Now, I understand game mechanics need to balance out to make it a fair game, because if I could just run around as a sniper and shoot everything, there'd be nobody left to stop me from doing the objectives. I get that. But I don't know. To me, it didn't feel like I was this cool sniper. It felt like I was, and maybe this is how the game works. I don't know. But for me, I'm like, I'm just a dude who is really sneaky, and I found some really crappy gun behind enemy lines, and I'm just praying it doesn't jam up on me.
Yeah.
Thoughts on that?
Yeah.
Because I was going to go back to a positive after that.
I don't think I like the idea of the bag as a whole, but in the game, it does make me feel like I never want to shoot.
Which is crazy.
Which is Sniper Elite. I feel like I would want to shoot the gun.
That's right.
Because I'm sniping.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the aspect of the cool part on this overlying aspect of the game, when it actually gets down to it, it is hidden movement, and you're trying to stay hidden as much as possible. And if you're shooting, you're not hidden.
That's right.
So yeah, go. If you have something else positive, say go ahead, because I have other thoughts that I don't want to take up too much time. So go ahead.
That's fine. So I think, and again, like I'm picking out a few things, but then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, this isn't like this happens in every game, but I do like the clock that the sniper's on.
Mm-hmm.
So in every hidden movement game, there's some kind of a clock.
Yeah,
and it works differently for different games. But I like that it basically cuts the game in half. Because if you don't get to this first objective by a certain amount of time, you lose.
Yep.
And in a lot of games, you have a certain number of rounds period for the whole game. And so you can kind of milk the first half of the game to really set yourself up for the second half. But this is like, no, you've got to go. And I do like that aspect. I think at the end of the day, from a positive perspective, I think it is a solid hidden movement game.
Yeah.
I think it is. It does check a lot of boxes from a board game perspective of what a hidden movement game should be. But again, I don't feel like I'm a sniper.
That's tricky because of the theme.
Right. I think
the intensity and the stress of a hidden movement game is all here.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. No, I mean, I'm sweating the whole time.
No, on both sides, I'm sweating.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Sweating more on the sniper cut side because it's actually hidden. Like but that intensity.
It is tight.
It is intense, and it's stressful. And I will say there's not a lot of games that do that. Hidden movement is the one that does it the most successfully.
Yeah, because like tabletop is this weird medium, right? Where you can't really implement too much of that like angst and adrenaline or whatever. But I agree with you.
It's in this game.
You're on edge the whole game.
Yeah.
Like from turn one.
Yeah, turn one,
You're both like, as the sniper, you're like, holy crap, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And then as the other side, you're like, holy crap, how are we going to find them?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Absolutely. That stress is there in this game. So I would say that's absolutely positive. They checked the box on that. So if a hidden movement game doesn't have that, then it shouldn't be a hidden movement game. So I would say, and again, you don't get that feeling in other games. Hidden movement is the one that really, really kind of scratches that itch. That just, a lot of others aren't going to do that. Maybe like some dungeon crawl or something like that might, but just not the same. It's not the same as something like this would. And so I'm going to give kudos to it there, is that it does do it. It does it, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. So, but I think you were going to say something. So
I'm going to pose this question. I think this is how I want to shift. If you took the theme off of this game, is there anything special about it? Like if you just ripped away Sniper Elite, the board game, and I just told you, Ian, you are generic soldier A, and you are to go in here and take care of 2 objectives and escape in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And you're going up against generic soldiers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
An opponent.
Would it change anything about the way you see this game?
No.
I agree. So neither of us have played Sniper Elite, the video game.
Yeah.
But we did watch some videos, did a little research ahead of time.
Yeah.
And the more I watched the video, I'm like, yeah, we didn't play Sniper Elite.
No.
Like, there's nothing about what I just watched that correlates to the board game.
No.
And that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah. It's just tough because you don't want to see that. So I don't know. It's got the, I mean, you don't feel like you don't feel like you're shooting a lot. So that's kind of the crappy part of that.
Well, yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not shooting. I want to shoot.
Well, it's crazy because like some of the videos we watched,
yeah,
like it's all centered around this X shot thing that they've got.
Yeah,
where
the X-Vision shot.
The X-Vision, yeah, that. And you're making this perfect shot, and it shows how the whole body reacts when your sniper bullet goes through the from the flesh to the skull to whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
And granted, you don't want to do all that for a board game. That'd be super hard to replicate. But at least make something cool about the shot to replicate that part of it.
I agree. Unfortunately, it does not have the aspects of that. It just it doesn't pull off that part very well. And that's sad because you got this theme on it that a lot of people like. So I hope it would be nice to maybe hear somebody's perspective of somebody that does play the game a lot and then play this game. If that's you, if you've played the video game a ton and then you bought this game or played this game, let me know. Like, go hop into our Discord and let us know what you think. On did you feel like it was anything close to the game that you wanted it to be? I just don't. I think in our opinion, it's not. And there's a couple other ways that they could have approached it. I feel like you could have done maybe just more straight up objective, like the sniper is on the map and it's not hidden, and he's just moving around and he's just super cracked out. Like, I always think of like my Batman game, the Gotham City Chronicles. It's like, yes, we know Batman's here. He's beating up all the minions.
We're supposed to be fighting Batman. We're all scared to do it.
Yes, that's how I feel this should have gone. Of like, that character's just really cracked out, and the enemies are just trying to wait him out as far as pushing the limit of how, like, on the time limit of like, can we survive enough time for the bomb to go off and he can't, he doesn't complete his objective. I think that would have been a better approach.
I think hidden movement just has this struggle of you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah, it's love-hate.
And it's crazy because so many people want to love it.
Yeah.
And I would really like to see someone come up with some tweaks to the overall hidden movement genre.
Yeah. Because
I think it has real potential. But every hidden movement game I know, like, there's nothing you do when you interact with the actual objectives. Like, you're just clicking a button and then you're done.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in game thematically that's happening. I don't know. Like, I just think it needs some tweaks, and there's still a lot of room for that at some point. But I agree with you that I don't know. It should have been something different. And I don't even know the video game. Like, that's crazy that I'm even dying on that hill.
Yeah.
Like, why should I care? I should just want to play the board game. But even in that, I'm just kind of,
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a tough place to be because you're trying to make it fit this theme onto it. And maybe that's what it was. They had a general idea for the game.
Maybe.
And then
I don't know.
You're like, hey, I think this theme could fit.
Well, I mean, they're the ones who made the video game. It's the same publisher.
Yeah, so they had so they had the theme first, and
yes.
And so it just based on that alone, I would say here's the other. I'm going to say something else that I prefer. If I don't play hidden movement games a lot. I do have one, and it is Letters from Whitechapel.
Okay.
And the reason why, and I'm going to say it here, like, I like Letters from Whitechapel better is because I actually feel like I'm able to track the movement of the villain, so to speak, or the anti-hero. Or I guess that's a hero in this. I don't know how to even say that. I don't know. But anyway,
perspective.
Yeah, perspective. Because Letters from Whitechapel is about Jack the Ripper, so he's not a hero. But so I would say that I like how that, like, you can see where that person's been. If I'm like searching, like, it's just, I feel like I never in this game. I feel like I'm even more of a failure in this game when searching, because you can search, and sometimes he may be in one of the three spaces. They'll say yes. Most of the time it's no, 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 no. If in other games where you can track the actual, like, where they've been, I can at least say, like, okay, I'm getting on track. Like, I can see a little bit I'm being successful. Like, my idea of him going down this alleyway is like, went down that way. The way this one is it's really like failure, 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 and then maybe absolutely massive success, which is not the case in other ones where you might be seeing where they're going, but you're still like off. So I guess there's that, but it's just like, it just never felt like I was succeeding. And even as the sniper, again, we're saying, like, you're not really shooting. You got these guns and stuff, and you just don't feel like you're using all of your equipment. The equipment that's used the most are the ones that keep you hidden more. And those are good, but then I felt like I only used like one of them. I used the run. I didn't use...
But again, you're supposed to be a sniper at the end of the day.
Right. And you're given sniper abilities in a sniper bag. So
where you could draw misses and you know,
and so you might miss your sniper shot because you're so bad,
and that feels so devastating.
I mean, that will wreck your game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, I don't want to dunk on it too hard because it just doesn't have the aspects of the other hidden movement that I like better. But this one does do a new twist on it. That there is this shooting aspect. To kind of eliminate the enemies. I think that's one key element here. I don't know how Spectre Ops plays, but you can eliminate the people searching for you in this.
Yeah.
Eliminate tentatively, because they come back.
They can be spawned back in.
They respawn back, but the aspect of being able to move this guy out of the way, that doesn't happen a lot in other games.
Well, and you're taking up their actions to get them back on the board too.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that aspect, which is nice, is that, okay, this guy's in my way, I'm going to shoot him. But I just don't feel like I'm doing that a lot, and it's supposed to be the sniper. So I guess in a way that's good, but it's just, I don't feel like I'm doing it enough. I still feel like the whole part of it is to move move in a hidden way.
Stealthily, I think is the word you're looking for.
But anyway, you were going to say something.
We're rambling on. I think we've driven the point home. So I think at this point, like, I don't know, because I think if you're looking for a solid hidden movement game, this will do that for you. If you're looking for something revolutionary in the hidden movement world, this ain't it.
Not it.
This ain't it. If you're on the fence about hidden movement games, take it from someone who has tried. just go somewhere else and do something else, because I know you want to like hidden movement games, because I want to like hidden movement games, but it's just not where you want it to be yet, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's my recommendation.
Yeah,
and I'll just move right into grading and final thoughts because of that.
Yeah,
I am gonna give this game a 6. It's a fine and solid hidden movement game. I think it has a couple of pieces that are cool, but ultimately it doesn't do anything for me that makes me want to come back to this game.
I don't want to rip into it too bad, but I am going to.
All right, own it.
I feel bad, but I don't feel bad. I'm going to give it a 5. And again, I'm comparing it to another thing, is these other hidden movement games, they actually feel like the theme that I want it to be. The Fury of Dracula, Letters from Whitechapel, the theme, yes, it's hidden movement, but in those games, like Dracula and Jack the Ripper are actually doing the things that they are meant to do, which is they go and, like, in that game, they go and kill some people, and That's what they're doing. And you feel it. And as the investigators or whoever in those games, you feel like they're actually doing the bad thing. In this, I don't feel like they're doing. The sniper's not sniping, and so that
it makes it hard.
It makes me not like it because I'm not interested in playing it compared to the other one because the theme's not like I'm going to play a game like this because of the theme. The hidden movement part is cool, but give me a theme of why the hidden movement's happening. What am I searching for as the investigators? Because that's like the most, in hidden movement, it is the failure side. You're failing a lot. So give me a reason why. Am I searching for somebody really bad?
Right.
Like, why am I doing it? And in this, I'm just like, okay, I'm just standing here waiting for the sniper to show up, and he's not sniping. And so that's my biggest gripe about it. It's not an awful game necessarily. It's just not doing the things that I wanted to do, which is, there's a theme on here, and it's just not doing it well, unfortunately. So, and that's from a perspective that I haven't played the video game. So please let us know. Like, if you've played both, I would love your opinion, because that's something that I'm just not getting. I'm not connecting the dots there.
I'm the same way. Like, genuinely, when we're critical, I would love to be wrong.
Yeah.
I want every game to have a space in its hobby.
Yep.
And I want each publisher to be able to succeed.
Yeah.
And these guys, like, we weren't going to review this game until we found out that they are doing a reprint. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and give our thoughts. And if you still want to try it out, then great.
Yeah.
But I would love to hear why you think we're wrong. That's something that I would be very interested to hear. And because again, I want to like one of these games. I will try another one, because I want to like hidden movement, and I have not found the one that works yet.
Yeah. And I will say, as one positive is the most recent game of this that I did play, I was sweating like crazy, and it came down to the last turn, and I did have a crazy play that was very fun to pull off, as I kind of like snuck around a guy, then I did take a shot, so I did shoot. But
it took you the whole game to do it.
But it took me the whole game. I think I did only shoot once at that game, didn't I? But the way I did it is I shot to make it look like I was in a different spot and y'all thought I was there. And then I snuck in behind and got to the final objective. And I went crazy. I was like, oh my God, it actually worked. But yes, that I had one shot. So I guess there's that. Like, I don't consider that a positive, but if maybe you
What's crazy to me is you pulled off that cool move and you don't want to play it again.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like
I felt that stress. I felt that intensity. I felt that nervousness. That
I think you felt kind of everything the game anxiety has to offer.
I did get everything out of it, and I'm like, I would rather play another version, because it just doesn't theme-wise hit me. And again, maybe it's because I just don't play the game, but I don't feel like I'm sniping, so I'm rather just, I significantly like Letters from Whitechapel better.
Sure.
I just think that theme's better in the way that it plays the way I wanted the hidden movement to go. So yeah, and so yeah, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, please let us know.
Yep.
I would love to know.
Please.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. If you have feedback or want to give us your thoughts on the game, we would love to hear from you. Links to our socials are in the description. If you don't like socials, I get it. Check out our website at thegametailpodcast.com. Shoot us an email at thegametailpodcast@gmail.com, or find us on Board Game Geek. All these links are also in the description. 5-star reviews, subscribing in your podcast player of choice, following us on socials, and joining the conversation on Discord. All of these heroic actions are immensely helpful in growing this podcast. Special thanks to Angie Santiago for our cover art, to Anna Snyder, who made the intro and outro music, and to Alexi Chistelin for the How to Play background music. Join us next week as we head back over to the two-top table. In the meantime, may your dice rolls and your card draws be blessed, and your experiences at the table be ones to remember forever.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. There's a sniper among us.